You know, something that struck me, and I haven't even thought about this until you were talking about that. You just referring to that boy, and then I thought about Brett's message yesterday morning about the boy. The number of times Jesus heals kids, like in the gospel, the number of times that the person on the receiving end of a miracle is somebody's son or daughter. I haven't done the research on that. I don't know how many times that is, but it just strikes me as like, wow, like, yeah, you're looking at that's great. So anyway, let's. I could get lost and we just kind of ramble, but there is an area of my life where I possess an uncanny amount of incompetence, and that is in the area of landscaping. I have no idea what I'm doing. I promise you, I can barely tell the difference between a flower and a weed. Matter of fact, and I know we said a lot about AI, there's one aspect of AI that is actually a godsend, and that is the ability to take your camera and point it at a plant and it tell you if it's a flower or a weed, because otherwise I have no idea. You think I'm joking. You think I'm overdoing it. You think he couldn't possibly be that incapable. But if you will look over here at my wife, she will tell you I am nearly useless. We were living in Virginia, and in Virginia we had these rose bushes that just grew really large. Like they were knockout, is that what they're called? Knockout roses. And we had like 4 or 5 in our front yard, and they would grow just ginormous. And I felt like I had a real duty to my neighbors to take care of them. Yeah, you see them. Like those are those roses. And I felt like, so the thing about these roses, because I can research or Google, about these roses, like if you don't take care of them, they will get straggly and they'll grow in on themselves, and the light won't get there, and they'll end up producing a lot of not really good roses instead of a few really great ones, because it gets in its own way. It's kind of like us, it gets in its own way, and light, shadow, and stuff. So one day I decide I'm going to take care of those roses. I'm going to surprise Hope. I'm going to take care of these roses. So I went and I got some shears, and I started getting to work. And I started cutting, and I was shaping, and I'm going to take this one out. And let's go ahead, because you don't believe how bad I am. Let's go ahead and show the next picture. Yep. You did not believe me. I tried to tell you that I am incompetent and cannot be trusted. I am literally only allowed to cut grass. Even then, I have cut down sunflowers with standing up with flowers on them. I have mowed right over them, man. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am not great. So FYI, if we ever have a landscaping outreach here at Ramp Church, and you want me to be part of that team, that's what you're going to get. Just letting you know. So, like I said, when it comes to pruning, when it comes to trimming, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. And that's not just true in landscaping. Way too often in my life, I don't know about yours, but that's true of my relationship with God, is that God wants to prune some things out of my life, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of trying to fumble through, because if most of us, if we're honest, most of us struggle in the pruning season. You know what I mean? Some things, like those rose bushes, some things have grown out of hand, and you see God coming at you with the shears, and you're like, whoa, no, God, no. Don't take them away. And you're wondering, you're like, what did I do wrong? Because there are times in life when it's like, man, I don't even know that I did anything wrong for God to come at me with the pruning knife. And Jesus talks about this. Jesus talks about this in John chapter 15. So if you have your Bible, go to John chapter 15. We're going to look at the first 5 verses. It's just this I am statement of Jesus. And there's so much here about pruning times in our lives that I think can be really helpful to us and encouraging, especially on the other side of a conference. So here we go. John chapter 15. I'm going to be reading from the NIV. If you've got a different translation, praise be to God. That's awesome. Here we go. Verse 1. I am, this is Jesus talking, the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. Verse 2, he cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. Then Jesus gives us a great summary statement in verse 5. He says, I am the vine, you, talking about me and you and the disciples and everybody who would find themselves in Christ, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. Jesus is talking about landscaping. Landscaping our lives, our souls, our beings. And he says, he is the vine. We, you and I, are the branches, and the Father, remember he says this in verse 1, the Father is the gardener. And pruning is his process. And he, unlike me, is really good at it. He's a really good gardener. He knows what he's doing when he's got the shears in his hand. Now, where this passage sits is actually really important in kind of visualizing what Jesus is talking about, because this is Thursday night before he's arrested. And Jesus has just eaten the Passover meal with his disciples, and the air, you can just feel the thickness of the air in the conversation, and there's confusion, and they're walking from the Last Supper room, and Jesus is taking them to the Garden of Gethsemane. And they're walking through a valley, and through this valley, it's full of gardens and grapevines and olive trees. And as they walk by close to the gates, the flicker of like the oil lights or the oil lamps dances on the walls of the temple. And you can see at this gate, there's a large, massive golden vine, this symbol of Israel, glimmering in the lamplight and the moonlight. And so Jesus comes, and he sees this big vine, and he stops, and that's when he says, guys, I am the true vine. I am the vine. And he describes this relationship, and he kind of breaks it down in like 3 different images, and we see all of them in that verse 5. He says, I am the vine, you are the branches. I love that Jesus says, this relationship that we have, it's organic, not mechanical. He says it's growing and living and breathing, and it changes. And it's so easy. I don't know about like if you struggle with this, but it's so easy for me to turn this organic thing that's this ebb and flow of relationship into a checklist. Super easy for me to do that. Because unlike Hope, like Hope said that she really likes like organized lists, but she gets in a rut and she wants mystery. Like I love structure. Like I can do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like give me my soap journal, my chapter of scripture, and I'm good. Like I don't need to change it up. Like what are these people that need to change it up? But That's my tension. I turn it into a list to do this, don't do that. But that's not like, there's something of life that's missing when we turn it into a checklist. Because think about this, those of you who are single or if you're married and you're going on a date, can you imagine if you like showed up for your date, or guys, if you're taking your wife out to dinner and you get flowers and she's like, oh, thank you so much for the flowers. You're welcome. Check. You just sucked all of the romance out of that moment. Because you just turned something that was meant to be this loving, organic, breathing, life-giving thing into a list. Checked it off. And God is after something that matures and deepens and grows into something that gives life. He's after fruitfulness. And fruitfulness is not mechanical. But he also says, if you remain in me, you're the branches, if you remain in me and I in you, you will produce much fruit. The Bible knows nothing of a fruitless disciple. There's no such thing. Jesus doesn't give us the option of being branches that don't produce fruit. Because this relationship is meant to be productive. The test of whether or not we are connected to the vine is not how much we take in from the vine, but do we produce fruit? That's what Jesus says. The test of our faithfulness is our fruitfulness. It's not how many sermons did I hear, how many services did I attend, how many prayers did I pray, or how many chapters did I read. It's when I did that, when I took life in, did life come out of me? Did I produce fruit? Is his life producing life through me? I could never miss a Sunday and still fail the test. I could download all the podcasts and still have a prideful heart. Jesus says it's fruit. Fruit is the evidence that his life is flowing through me. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Did I get all 9? Did I get kindness and goodness in there? Sometimes I skip one of those. Gentleness, I forgot that one. That's the one I struggle with, so. But even additionally, it's not like that's the fruit of the Spirit, right? But there's also dreams that he wants to give you and he wants to bring in your life. There are visions he wants you to, there are ideas, there are songs that he wants you to sing out that no one has written yet. There are business ideas and entrepreneurship ideas that he wants to bring into fruitfulness, but we've got to stay connected to the vine. That's the test of our relationship. Because that's how God has designed to bring the world into flourishing, is that you and I would stay connected to the source. Have you ever had a phone charger go out on you? You know what I mean? Like the first step, you know when it's happening because when you plug it into your phone, it's like bing, 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 bing. And you know it's like, if I move it just right, and I prop it against the lamp on the nightstand, and I get the thing, and oh, good. But how many of you have woken up and that didn't work, and your phone is dead? Why? It wasn't connected to the source. So it can't do the thing it was actually designed and created to do. It lost connection. Jesus says, I am the vine. I am the true vine. Remain in me. I remain in you. You'll produce much fruit. But then he also says, verse 5, he says, apart from me, you can do nothing. So he says this is an organic relationship, a productive relationship, but it's also an exclusive relationship. Don't go looking for other vines. I am the true vine. All the other vines are false vines. The branches, think about this like grapevine. The branch has a committed relationship with the vine. I'm not looking at other vines going, I think I can get more sunlight over there. I think maybe that vine will give me what I actually want. Like, I really want success, and I think that vine over there will do it for me. That'd be a disaster. No. The branch is in a committed, like an exclusive relationship. The problem is that when we hop over to other vines, that's when we feel withered and dry. Because they promise life, but they actually drain life from you. They're false vines. And so Jesus says this relationship, this thing that we have together, it's exclusive. We all know somebody like that, but we've all been somebody like that, right? Like where we look to another vine for life, but then it just left us weary and thirsty and tired and drained of life. So it's organic, it's exclusive, it's productive, and all of that connection leads to this idea that none of that is possible. This is what Jesus says in John 15. None of that is possible. The fruit's not possible. The connection's not possible without the pruning. Without the pruning. Did you notice that Jesus says pruning is the reward for bearing fruit? And it's the reward for not bearing fruit. Isn't that messed up? Like, Jesus, I get it if I'm not bearing fruit, there's some things you got to cut off. But, like, if I'm bearing fruit, why you got to cut still? But it's the gardener's job. The gardener's job, this is what Jesus says. The Father is the gardener. The gardener's job is to prune because there are things in our lives that need to be cut off. This is what he says. Look, let's look at this again. Verse 2 of chapter 15. Let's throw it up there. He cuts off, so there are things in our life that need to be cut off, every branch in me that bears no fruit. The gardener knows there are branches that need to be pruned because they're not bearing fruit. Dead branches need to be cut off because they are creating shadow places in the vine for unhealthy things to grow. And other things don't have space to come to life because they're dead branches, so we got to cut those off. The gardener knows that there are diseased branches. There are things, there are areas of the vine that are diseased, bugs have infested them, and if we don't cut it off, that disease will spread to the rest of the vine. It'll spread, so we got to cut it off before it has a chance to grow. But then, I can't do this, but I know this, all right? So, on a plant, there are these little offshoots near the bottom, and this is what they call them, okay? This is not me being crass. This is just what they call them. They call them suckers. And they're these little, they'll start small, but their growth at the bottom of the vine that actually don't have a purpose. It's just unruly growth. But if you don't trim them off, it'll steal the life energy from the vine producing fruit. They're called suckers. So what that means is that there are some things in your life that will never be good for you. Never be good for you. So he's got to cut them off. They'll never take you where you need to go. They will only rob you and steal from you the life that's meant to go into your fruit. So the gardener cuts them off. But then he also says, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. There are things in our lives that need to be cut off, but there are also things that need to be cut back. Good things. Good branches that produce grapes can also get these little flowers on them. And the gardener, when he sees those little flowers, they're pretty. They're beautiful. Like, that's great. But they're robbing life from going into the grapes. So the gardener puts his shears down and he uses his fingers and he pinches those little flowers that'll grow right amongst the grapes, and he'll get in close and he'll pinch. Have you ever had God pinch some stuff out of your life? He just pinches it. And can I be honest with you? Sometimes the pinch hurts worse than the shears. Because I kind of know, well, God, you're right. Like that was a dead thing in me and it needs to go. But God, I worked so hard on that flower. It was so pretty. And you just went and pinched it off. And he says, I know, but it's not producing what I created you to do. It's taking life from the fruit I created you to produce. It's not bad, it's not toxic, it's not even sinful, but it's stealing the strength that's meant to go into your fruit. It's let me talk to the students real quick. It's that romantic relationship that's not bad. You're not doing anything sinful. It's just not the time for it. So he gets in and he goes, oh, pinch. Clock it. Clock it. God clocks. I don't even know what that means, but God clocked it. All right. It's those of us that we run through every open door that we see, even if God's telling us it's time to stay hidden. It's not a bad thing. It's just not the right thing. Leaders, sometimes God will pinch our platform to grow our prayer life. Been there. That's not fun. That hurts. Wish you'd just take the shears and cut something away instead of pinching things. It's the lackadaisical attitude that comes from living off of old revelation. So sometimes he pinches yesterday's word that can crowd out tomorrow's vision. And so he's got to pinch yesterday's word. It hurts. But the truth is, it's ultimately keeping you from producing what you're created to produce. So, his job is to prune. You want some grapes? No, not doing that. Facilities team would be so angry because we'd be stepping on grapes and they'd be like, why? So, sorry. The gardener's job is to prune. What's my job? Remain. My job is just to remain. Here's the thing. It's hardest to remain when the season is pruning. It's never more tempting to depart from the vine when the gardener grabs the shears. We're just supposed to stay put. We're supposed to remain. Don't leave. Don't run away. Just remain. When God starts cutting, I want to bolt. I want to leave. I want to run because it doesn't feel good to get cut. It doesn't feel good. And it doesn't feel good to get pinched. But my job is to remain. I want to show you a picture of a grapevine that hasn't been pruned. So let's show that first picture. This is a grapevine that hasn't been pruned. Look at that. Look at all those leaves. You can kind of even hear that grapevine. That grapevine's going, look at me. I got all, like I'm spread out. Look at all this growth. Man, I'm doing good. This is awesome. I'm so like live. I'm alive and I'm green and I'm spread out all over the place. Wow. Anybody want to take a picture of me? This is great. But then the pruning season comes. And look what happens. And this is the season when you're like, I don't want anyone to see me this way. Oh, God. Don't look at me. This is terrible. Do you want to sing on the worship team? No! Not right now. I'm in a pruning season. I don't want anyone to see me like this. And that's when it's tempting to not remain. When God comes at you with his scissors and he comes at you with his knife, God touches something in our life that triggers something, but it's actually keeping us from moving forward. And it's like, God, I don't like how that makes me feel. I don't like what you're doing to me right now. God, I'm going to find a vine that'll let me be me. I'm going to find a church that'll just let me be me and let me do me, and I just do whatever I want to do because I don't like that. Get those scissors away. Alone. It's most difficult to remain when you're being pruned. But here's the thing. The gardener is never closer to the vine than when he's pruning it. He's never closer than when he's pinching things off of your life. Pruning is the result of intimacy. We all want intimacy. God, we want more of you. And he goes, I know, that's why I'm getting real close. He's never closer to the vine than when he's cutting things away. He's never closer to the vine than when he's pinching things off of our lives. So, you don't remember anything else. Remember anything else that I say? You don't remember the grapes. You don't remember the shears. You don't remember the pit. None of that. The one thing that I want you to just remember and write it down and let it just cement into the recesses of your brain is when you feel the steel, cling to the vine. When you feel the steel, oh God, I'm going to cling to the vine. Lord, when I feel the steel, I'm going to cling to the vine. Because God, I believe that you know what you're doing. I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't like how it makes me look. I don't want to be seen by anybody. But when I feel the steel, I'm going to cling to the vine. I think our mentality should be like the author of Hebrews describes in Hebrews chapter 12. Look at this from this perspective. Listen to these two verses. Hebrews 12, verses 1 and 2. We all know them, but listen to them in a new light. He says, therefore, we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. Let us throw off everything that hinders us, the sin that so easily entangles. Let us run with perseverance the race marked. Let's cut away. God, if it's slowing me down, cut it off. God, if it's diverting me from the fruit that you want to grow in my life, pinch it away, God, because I want to run this race. Lord, I will subject myself to the pruning. Because I know that in the pruning, you're closer than you've ever been. And I can trust you. Some of you need to hear this. I can trust him with the shears. He's trustworthy. How do we know that? Look at verse 2. Fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. Why can we trust our gardener with the shears? Because of what the vine was willing to go through to connect you to his life. Let me show you how grapes grow. Grapes grow like this. Let's do the last image. Do you see it? Do you see how grapes grow? They grow in the shape of a cross. Grapes grow best in the shape of a cross. How can we trust the gardener? Because what the vine was willing to go through in order to connect us to his life. He endured it. It was the joy set before him. He endured it to save us. So, when he comes to cut something away, God, I'm good. I know what you did. I know what you did, so I can trust what you're doing. I know what you endured, so I can trust what you cut away. God, I know what you poured out, so I can trust when you want to pinch away. How can I endure the pruning season? How can I enter the pruning season and say, God, I'm good, whatever you want to do, God, cut it away. Because I trust his plan. And maybe you're here this morning and you're in a pruning season right now. And God's been cutting stuff away and he's been pinching stuff off. And you're like, I want to run, don't run. I want to switch vines, don't switch vines. Your job is to remain, to abide. So this morning as the band goes ahead and gets in place, this isn't the desperate cry that like God fix me, but it's just the steady surrender of God, keep me. That's how I want to end this morning is just God, keep me connected. God, keep me close. Keep me aware. Keep me fruitful. God, prune away anything that's getting in the way of the fruitfulness. Pinch off the distractions. Cut away the noise. God, I want to remain. So let's all stand this morning. And wherever you take us, just take us into a moment of remaining. Maybe this morning, all over the room, like if you need to surrender your life to Jesus and you're here and you've never done that, this is a great time. Why is this a great time? Because we know what he did for us. We know what he did to connect us to the true vine. We know what he gave up to connect you to himself. So if you need to surrender your life to Jesus, I can't think of a better opportunity than right now. Today is the day of salvation. Now is the time. For the rest of us, as we worship, God, let life flow in me, God. Let me remain. And if you find yourself in a pruning season, don't rush. Don't strive. The vine, the branch doesn't, this little branch did no striving to produce fruit. It just remained. And some of you are in a season where you feel like you're striving to produce something. No striving. Just remain. Remain and submit to the pruning process. Remain and submit to the shears of the gardener. Just remain, and you'll produce fruit. Stay connected. Don't leave. Don't run away. Don't abandon the vine. So I'm going to pray for it. And I just want us to go into Lord, here I am. I've just been reminded all weekend of John chapter 6. Lord, where else are we going to go? You have the words of life. So if you want to give us a hard teaching, it's great. I don't have another vine. You are the true vine. So can we worship him in that way this morning? Can we lift our hands and say, God, I'm going to remain. I'm going to remain. I'm going to remain, God. Let your life flow through me. Jesus, Jesus.